And these companies too, the ones like Figma, they're kind of taking a beating too because the roles in a way have kind of switched up. Now it's the distinction between like what a software engineer does, what a designer does, and what a product manager does is all kind of merging into one now with these AI tools. So,
Right.
I mean, from the software engineer point of view, they think they could design now as well as a designer can because they have Claude and they can tell Claude, what they want. The designer thinks they could code as well as a software engineer because they have Claude and they could design the thing and then they could tell it to, write the back end or whatever. And
Right.
the product manager thinks that he could do both the work of the designer and the software engineer because he's the guy talking to the business people and coming up with the requirements. And then he could just tell Claude about the requirements and have it make a design and then he could test it and
Right.
improve on it. So, I mean, they're all and people have talked about this. I've heard the guys on the All In podcast talk about this, probably people at YC and other places like that, where,
Yeah.
it's like the role is just kind of transforming into like a builder, less, more general, and they could take on, almost the entire thing by themselves. And we've kind of seen that in a way with our own company. Like if we were
Right.
building Authorized 5 years ago, we would have had to have paid a guy to come up with the designs for us, and then we would have had to have like a back end engineer to do the databases and build the logic, and then we would need to have the product manager, the CEO like us, then tell them what to do. But now we
Yeah.
could just kind of do it on our own, and we don't have to be, a super top tier engineer to build this product. You just kind
Yeah.
of have to have the idea, the vision in your
Well,
head, and then articulate
yeah.
it and keep building.